I started reading articles about the Ford Mustang on the internet and through the Mustang Monthly magazine, and found out that there was one fella in Illinois who claimed he had the first Mustang that was sold, and the sale date was the 16th. So along with our good friend Gerald Harbison, he and I went up to see this fella, and I think his jaw dropped when I said we got one that was sold on the 15th.
I had just graduated from college, and I was 22 years old. I was living at home, and I got a job in the suburbs teaching 3rd grade, and I needed transportation to get to the school. I went with my parents to Johnson Ford on Cicero Avenue in Chicago to buy a convertible. But when we got there, he had no convertibles on the floor. So he said, "Come on in the back room with me." And he said, "I got something special to show you." So we went in the back room, and under a tarp were 2 cars, and one of them was the skylight blue Mustang. It was a convertible. I said, "Oh, I love it. That's the one for me. I'll take it." So I bought it on the spot. It was Wednesday, April 15th, and the Mustangs weren't supposed to come out till the 17th, but they let me buy it on the 15th. I paid $3,400 for the car, and my salary was $5,100 as a teacher, beginning teacher. But my parents loaned me the money, and then I paid them back over time. When I took it out on the street, everybody was waving at me and telling me to slow down so they could look at this car. There was a lot of hype going on about the car. I didn't really know that at the time, but it was very exciting. I felt like a movie star. I was young, 22, and single. I had a good time.
Gail and my wife and their friends from their club used to tool around in the neighborhood, and again, as Gail says, they were really celebrities. I believe Gail would tell me that the police would stop her on the pretense, I guess, of giving her a ticket, but really wanted to see the automobile. I still really think they were trying to get her telephone number, but that's not the story that she'll admit to.
Well, at the time it was very sporty, since I was driving more of a boxy, bigger car, so it was smaller, and it was, for young people. I guess it was for everybody, but as a young person, it really attracted me. As sporty, had good pickup, and that boom boom, that noise that it went.
Gail drove it back and forth to work, and then in the mid-70s, I started driving it as a daily driver. And I had some minor problems with the carburetor linkage in '79, and I pushed it in the garage. And the thought was, well, I'll fix it next week, next month. Well, it turned into years. 27 years the car sat in the garage.
He insisted on keeping that car, and I would say, sell it, get rid of it, we need the space. So instead, he built an addition to the garage. The 2-car garage became a 3-car garage so that he could keep that Mustang. So, what could I say then? If he did that, I knew he really wanted it.
I always thought that for me it would be a retirement project. Well, yeah, it turned out to be a retirement project,
yes.
And in 2006, we thought about either selling the car or restoring it, and we made the decision to restore it. We're waiting for a guy to come along and say he bought one on the 14th or prior to that. then we'll have to give up that title. people relate to this car, you know, it's,
Yes, they do.
it's 50 years old, but it's not like 100 years old. So, you know, a lot of spectators that we see at shows say, oh, gee, you know, I learned to drive on a car like that. Oh, I had that car in college, or my folks just had a car just like that. And
Yes.
Yes. It's a big hit at most auto shows.
And the interesting thing about Tom and Gail is that when we've gone to the shows, they've insisted that they drop the stanchions and the ropes and allow people to gather around the car, to sit in the car and take pictures. And it's really what I refer to it as America's car, and they've made it that way, and they've really shared it with everybody. Young people have sat in the car and taken pictures and have been using it to show and tell at school. So they're writing stories about it.
And we've even heard people comment saying, oh boy, I'm glad those folks took the stanchions down and the chains down and let us get closer to that car.
It is amazing that we've had it all this time, and all I did, I just wanted to go out and get a new car that night, and it just was a nice coincidence that it all worked out that way. But there, yeah, it's not that I planned to buy the first one.